Good morning, Earth. You're always on here. I appreciate that so much. Y'all just about died putting that bag of feed in that trough, but I don't know why. I keep using this wooden trough because I need to put my hay forks on and move my concrete trough up here some. That's just a piece of shit that I've screwed together, but it's long enough all of them can eat somewhat safely. Anyways, I threw it in there. It was a nightmare. Everybody acts like they're starving to death. I haven't fed them grain in like 2 days. I'm trying to cut Ruby back because I know she's just about full term here. Carrie, howdy neighbor. Carrie, I just almost blocked you trying to hit the like button. If I ever block you, be sure and message me. Shout out from Jackson, California. Man, I just went around that trough about 25 times at 100 miles an hour. What's funny is when I hit the like button on your comment, right beside it is block, and I have accidentally hit that before. For $2, you get blocked. I have. I have. I had to go back and find a lady. She emailed and chewed my ass. I was like, oh my God, what happened? Did you guys see the new additions to the family? I saved their lives. I had no choice. The guy made me feel bad, even though it was probably just a sales pitch, but Carrie says, yep. So we had a fox, had pups behind our house and where we live, and we had our chickens. Well, they made mincemeat out of our chickens. The flocker just took a pretty decent hit. Beautiful fox though. But some of our pet chickens we've had forever. I don't even think I showed them on here really, but anyways, they took a pretty decent hit, and I was like, you know what? These son of a bitches, I like to have something that will stomp out a fox. So I just happened to be on Facebook. So weird. And I saw a couple emus, babies. And I was like, okay, well, it was like weeks old. Never even thought about it. And I messaged the guy, and they had the 2 leftover runts. And he wasn't far from me. I don't even know what that means. But anyways, it wasn't far from me, and oh yeah, easy pickings for a fox, yeah, especially one with pups. Like, she's just doing her job, getting milk for her babies. I understand. Unfortunately, Crooked Toe was one of my favorite chickens. She had, her toes were like kinked like that. Well, we lost one a while back. Didn't think anything else about it, and then during the day, even she got them during the day. Anyways, wiped them out. So then I got a couple of emus, and I'm like, now, when these son of bitches get a little bigger, good luck, fox. I'd like to see you run in here and try to grab one of these son of a bitches. Your days are over, bud. You know, if you ever have chickens, your own chickens, don't ever name them. When you name them, it's like putting signing a death warrant for them. Although we had those for close to 2 years, maybe 3. And there were some more that we'd got. I do know Matt with Muffin. I do know him well. I talk to him about every other day. I have dogs. What do you mean? I have 4 dogs. Fox are not just a myth that they're smart and sneaky. That's not a myth. I don't know how I don't know how the cattle will react to the emus. All I know is that the guy has raised hundreds, um, and that these were going to go not to be pets, and they were both kind of runny. One of them is a blonde, which I didn't even know they was such a thing. Yeah, this was a red fox. And then one is the typical black one. So it's Cookies and Cream. That's what the girls named them, Cookies and Cream. Because one's black colored and one's cream colored. Yep, that's them. I think it says 125 to 150 pounds and 5 foot to 6 foot tall or something like that. Is the man down here? What do you do with them? Man, I'm gonna just turn them loose and let them eat insects out of here. Maybe they'll put a dent in these armyworm moths and this armyworm moths and some of these worms, these armyworms that eat my whole farm every summer. So that's kind of what I was thinking. No, I seen the fox, believe me. I see the fox still. Well, the guy that raises them and everything I've read said you just want to keep them around what they're going to be around from the time they're little. So as soon as they're big enough to make it, I'm going to fence this with a little better fence and make them a nice shelter, like a small hole fence. And then I'm going to have them in here and socialize with the cows and see how it goes. Yeah, I mean, they're just, listen, they're going to have a great life. Everybody's like, oh my God, do you know how mean and ornery an emu is? Do you know how they're going to scratch you? They're going, well, motherfucker, I'll deal with a 3,000 pound bull that wants to kill me every day. I guarantee you anything after that is fucking less. Just hope they're like, oh, they'll be whatever. It'll be fine. They're like, you got to really be careful with them. You got to really be careful. They're on Amanda's page just really, and I'm like, hey, I'd rather fight a 150 pound chicken all fucking day than Rufus all day. I'd fight a 150 pound chicken all day. Bare knuckle. Yeah, there's some people being really mean to her on there. You guys help me out with that. I'm afraid to say anything really very mean, but some people are just rude as shit. I'll fight I'll straight up fight one of these things. Don't worry. Rufus getting hurt or scratched is not an option with Rufus. The best case scenario is you get crushed. Somebody was like, yeah, I saw one time when it scratched this guy and it scratched his stomach and his guts fell out or something. I was like, okay. Still better than Rufus. 1,000,000% still better than Rufus. Now, an ostrich, they're big. I was like, I was actually on there looking for ostriches because I was pissed at the fox. And I was like, this fox comes back and there's a fucking ostrich standing in here ready to stomp his ass out. He's going to be. Then I was like, yeah, not an ostrich. The emus are faster than Rufus. What's top speed of an emu? Let's look it up. Let me look it up because Rufus's top speed is 35 miles an hour, 35 to 40. Hello, Nikki. Telling you. The donkey will beat the hell out of a fox. Top speed is 30. Okay, Rufus outrun a damn emu then. What's top speed on a bull? Now, mind you, they're going to give you an average top speed. Rufus is almost 6 foot tall. So I guarantee you he is faster because of his height. Guarantee it. Y'all see him just kind of piddling around here, but I've seen him in attack mode. Great. No, I don't want to. Why did we start doing this a long time ago? Girl. No, hang on. Let me get out of this pen. Nope. Hang on, everybody. Just bear with me. Bear with me. I have a bruise on my leg right now that's black from her. Because I was trying to do something, didn't see her coming. She smoked me. And she about hit it again. 35 miles per hour, Rufus, back to work. Thank you for looking that up, man. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you right now, can an emu run through a tree? Because Rufus can. And if an emu can't, Rufus will help it through the tree. I thought it was so funny. People were so concerned about emu. Now listen, I'm laughing because of what we do every day. I'm not laughing because they're not dangerous. Obviously they're dangerous. Obviously they're a big bird. Obviously they've got means to protect themselves, okay? Like, I'm not laughing because I know they're dangerous. So can somebody look up and see if an emu's ever taken anybody out? How many people get whacked by emus per year? Let's look that up. That'd be a number I'd like to see. God, please don't let that happen to me. How embarrassing. Here lies Brent Lockridge, keeper of Rufus the Bull, taken out by his own emu. Fuck, don't say that. If I do, put down bull or something cool. Good Lord, Rufus, look at the flies on you. That rained last night like a son of a bitch. Sorry, guys, I got some fly spray here. I can't deal with that. That's crazy. Rufus, you're the only one. Woo! Got him. Oh, you like that today, huh? Rhonda's back in, cycling again. So, look at her back in there. She definitely did not breed the first time around, so everybody that was mad at me for breeding her too soon didn't understand that she probably wouldn't breed. Okay, hang on, now I'm back to reading. Oh, it's been hotter than a son of a bitch here. My goal today is to finish my barbed wire fence. Doesn't that sound fun? Why do I got this thing lifted up so high? What is going on here? Rufus, still got some paint on your horns. What a goober smooch. Not sure why I'm here, but I love it. Yeah, same thing, man. We're all, if you're new to this, this is Rufus. We come on here and talk about shit that doesn't make sense, and I kind of jump around, and it's entertaining videos. The lives aren't as much because I about got whacked so many times on lives that I've gone to more of a breakfast time live. I was watching a couple lives, and I saw a couple things in the lives that was going to make me unalive, not paying attention to, so that's more with Redford, though. Y'all like looking at the back of a 2x6? Hang on a second here. Put a lift kit on y'all here. Oh, yeah, here we go. Heather's doing great. I actually talked to her for a few minutes this morning, and they did an upgrade to her. So it's Heather now. I can't figure out where. Um, what was her old one's name? Terrible with that. Tiffany. I can't figure out where Tiffany went. Heather's a bitch, and I really like it. So she laughs at all kinds of stuff. It's funny. And Tiffany or Heather doesn't agree with me on a lot of things, so we've been getting along a lot better. No one's been killed by an emu. That's a good stat. That's a good stat. Thank you for looking that up. Who was that? I bet that was a fun look up. Or who said that? Where did that comment go? Oh my God, this shit goes by too fast. No one has been killed. Michael. Or Michelle. I can't see its wave. Thank you for looking that up. Good. No one will report it. Oh, nobody's reported it. Oh, hell yeah. Big Boss, if I got taken out by an emu, she would put that on my gravestone. I would hope so. Here lies Brent Lockard, toasted by a fucking emu. Scissor kicked him in the head. Roxanne, there's some feet underneath there you gotta get trying to get to. Rufus is over there mad at me now for spraying him. She gonna flip that feed drop over. Oh yeah, Lucky would have had a good time up here. Yeah, see with my corral, my pins here and everything now. So I did not plan on getting emus. Let me just tell you, it is not some kind of plan or some kind of animal just to add to content, because I don't really want any, but they were there and they were about to go to like a market deal, and I was like, well, I never had emus, and our chickens got toasted, and if they're still there, we'll run and grab them. Hey Brent, any unwanted activity on your property yet? No. Hopefully there's not any. We're pretty much surrounded by neighbors that watch everything too, and we're pretty much back in here. I know a lot of creators get weirdos trying to find their properties and shit like that, but Rupaloo. Yeah. We got cameras all over the farm too, so if anybody was to get in here, they're all set on human activity, so it sends me. That's how it was. That Rhonda was going into labor, thank God. I zoomed in, I saw a little bit of blood on her butt, and I was like, wait a minute. Nah. I mean, yeah, there's weird activity out here all the time. We'll see you, Amy. Have a great day. It's Thursday, one day left. It happens. It happens. They had a good run. Those chickens had a great life. I'd say a dozen eggs probably cost me about $35 a dozen because the way the girls take care of those chickens. So they had a great run. It did suck. It did suck because we had them for a long time. By the way, I'm here promoting learning the ropes. Yeah, well, we got a lot of what not to do. We'll teach you what not to do on the farm around here. can't help but get attached. Oh, yeah. Don't name them. Don't name your chickens. Although Cockatoo lived a long time, I wouldn't even look at her directly. I would just kind of glance, trying to keep her out of the eye of the death warrant. Yeah, Taylor Swift got whacked. That was the first one that got taken, and I didn't realize what was going on. I could have sworn it was an owl, so I did a few changes to keep that from happening again. And then it wasn't an owl, it was a fox, bastard. Little bitty red fox too. We have lots of grays around here, not many reds. My dogs were going ape shit, but I had my dogs back. How do you protect your calves from coyotes? Coyotes really aren't an issue, cattle. Coyotes are just an, opportunity deal. I mean, coyotes get shot at a lot by farmers, old farmers and different things, and people that can't hit anything. So if they smell where a human's been, they usually won't come out in the open. I saw one cross this place right here, and I guarantee it was probably running about 190 miles an hour. And I'm not saying that coyotes won't get a calf, but it's pretty damn rare. Like, I know lots of farmers, lots of cattle herds, and it's pretty freaking rare. Like, it'd have to be one starving. I don't really know yet. The emus, will they kick? I don't know. The guy told me that if you raise them around cows, they'll be fine around cows. He said if you grow them at your house and then bring them and introduce them to your cows, it's most likely not going to work. So once they're big enough to fight off a raccoon, which is the number one once they're about 6 months old, I'm gonna bring them over here while the cows eat. Maybe I'll pin them up here or something while the cows eat, and they all get to know each other and see each other. And then it's gonna be fucking chaos. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be the one that gets hurt. I'm gonna be the one that gets beat up, and it's gonna be chaotic. But I did it to myself, and I've always kind of had it where I wanted one. I've always wanted an ostrich and a hyena. I did talk to the guy, and he does have some kangaroos, baby kangaroos. He will have some baby kangaroos, but he said you have to carry those around in a pouch from like an early age. Yeah, I wanted a hyena forever. I've done a lot of research on them. And the guy actually, I changed my mind because they're a lot more feline than canine, actually completely pretty much. But the guy said he raised them, and he said they're can be absolutely fantastic. And I was like, man, I've just always wanted a hyena, and it just to be like on my front porch laughing about something, and somebody hear it from a distance and go, is that a fucking hyena? What is that? And you know what I mean? Like a big spotted one, like one that's like 165 pounds. Just hanging out. Yes, that's what he said too. He said they're very affectionate and love humans. And he was saying that they get a bad rap because, the Lion King and everything, and the hyenas and all that. But the guy was very passionate about his job, and he wanted these emus to come to us, and like you could tell, like the guy was super good dude, but they have a job, and I guess they do eat emus. I don't know if you can. Bison, I'm too afraid of bison to bring in some weird kind of disease or some shit from some That's another thing about the emus. I'm gonna have to talk to my vet about different things they can carry, and if I need to be watching anything about that. We got Clover. We got Lucky's daughter. We'll be bringing her over here. People eat the eggs. Yeah, I can't wait to crack into a giant emu egg. Takes 2 years for them to start laying eggs, though, so it's gonna be a minute. Can you imagine me in a skillet up there at my house, fucking frying a giant emu egg? Are you kidding me? Everybody, listen, I'm gonna call it an emu. I've been calling them ostriches for the whole time we've had them so far, even though they're not. Hell yeah, they're wild. Damn bison or buffalo, whatever. Some bitches are crazy. I've been around them some. They are nuts, boys and girls. 2,000-pound white-tailed deer. Try to handle that. Good morning. Is that Eva? Will I be selling eggs? If these things make it for 2 years, sure. I don't even know how many eggs they lay a year. Did you know you can actually see how many eggs each bird lays per year? Guineas don't lay very many. Guinea eggs are good, by the way. Buffalo are mean. They're just a wild animal. Dude was launched. He was, man. I hope he's doing all right. But do you see how far he was away from that thing? And it was rolling in that dirt, and I could see his tail. If you look at that video, you can see that thing's tail going 90 miles an hour. And I could show you some of Rufus before he attacked or charged me. You can see his tail going. That tail wag and that nose lick, I'm telling you, when they lick their nose for no reason, like wet their nose, they're trying to enhance all their senses, their smell, everything. I don't really know what the tail means other than we're about to party. But when I see that tail going and the nose lick on Redford, you're about to get flipped over. Yeah, and it's, the guy, those tree limbs were too sticking out so far. He couldn't suck up against that tree. I wouldn't have cut out in the open, man. I'd have dove in that sumbitch and been right up against the base of that tree. I'd have had pee and poop from myself all over me. That sumbitch wouldn't have wanted to touch me. Yeah, I wouldn't have been standing out there to begin with, man. I would not stand out in the fucking wide open. People don't understand, that may as well be a fucking lion. Would you stand out there and video a lion laying there on the ground? Would you stand out on the sandbar at the beach if there was a 15-foot great white shark coming by? No. Well, some people will. Nothing against the guy. Like, I propped him. That guy put up a hell of a run. Like, he really lapped that fucking tree. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was lapping the tree. Like, he put a good run in. He should. That was actually pretty much how it went with me and Rufus one day. But I didn't go up in the air. I went through a fence. Oh, hell yeah. That horn had to have hooked into meat somewhere to have flipped him that high. Their horns are real hooked. He did step on the gas. He was an old guy, too. I hope he's all right. But hell, can you imagine just falling on the ground from that height? Just fall from a ladder. Hell, it was about as high as that right there. Just fall from right there onto your back. He broke his tailbone. You know what? That guy's tougher than boot leather. He was at the wrong place, wrong time, all right. Piss on that, man. Like, I'm not afraid to be out here with a buffalo or with Rufus or whatever, but I know distances between things. That tree was just a bad tree. Those damn limbs hanging off there, I was like, when I first saw it, I went, oh, shit. He should have dove into that. I bet it was like that all the way around. Those limbs were down like that all the way around, and it's almost like a net. He probably couldn't even have gone through it. What happens is you think that sumbitch stopped, and from his perspective, he couldn't see around the tree like we could from the camera angle. So once he looked back, he was seeing the edge of those limbs, and then it was too late when that big sumbitch's head come around there. I've seen the shirt that people made, though. It's not funny. If he's okay, it's funny. If he's not okay, it's not funny. But the picture, if it was me on the shirt, I would die laughing. Okay? It could be someday, so keep that in mind. Wolves were introduced to California ranchers are taking it. Rufus. After Rufus swept my legs underneath me, he tries to catch me up here now all the time. Rufus. Rufus, you got a big old neck on you, dude. Rufus, I don't want to. Easy. This is just a makeshift fence across here. Everybody's like, put him something to scratch on there. I don't want him scratching on my barn. He has a scratching post. He actually has 2 scratching posts. Get your head back. Watch him. He hates this. He hates it. Ow. Don't touch my foot. Hey! Okay, that's how smart I am. Rufus hates this. Watch this. That's what he wants to do. See, I let him win, though. He won. Now, my logic is not good, honestly. Roof-a-loof, you got some paint on your horn. Let me tell you what's going on right now. Rufus is a little more aggressive than normal because Ruth there was trying to do something, and Rhonda for sure, she's out there now. Rhonda for sure came back through again. Maybe in the next, well, not maybe, we will. Give us about 3 weeks and we'll do a pregnancy check on her. Can y'all see me or are we frozen? There we go. Can Rhonda make him act right? No, she makes him act wrong. That's a problem. What's he do if you fart at him? I don't know that I've ever directed a fart at him. His breath is so bad that probably he wouldn't even smell it. I think that, and one thing I think I need to make clear here, guys, is that we don't want calves. We don't want, like, I think people got the wrong impression. Like, we would prefer nobody be pregnant for a while. Like, I mean, I know I say I wish she would go ahead and get pregnant so I don't have to deal with Rufus being crazy when she's in heat, yes. But, like, if they didn't cycle, sell them? I'm not really sure what that means. But we don't sell anything. Everything here stays. But we don't really want calves, per se. You know what I mean? Like, we got a lot of personalities here as it is. And we just kind of let it run. Whatever happens, happens. What is the point of having these cows, bulls? Jimmy, you must be a rancher. Basically, we've turned it into a really good do's and don'ts with having cows. Ranchers just can't, don't understand it. PETA pets, yeah, I mean, they're more to help people. Like, they were our pets to begin with, and now they're just it's a whole family. And I don't really know what you'd call it. I think everybody learns a little bit, maybe a little bit of learning going on here. You know, even a hobby farm would sell stuff, but like, yeah, no, these guys have all paid their way, and yeah, it's just good entertainment, good quality, real life, ranch life living. I mean, would you watch if they were going to be sold? Like, we wouldn't be giving them personalities and all those things, and escape therapy. These guys are my escape therapy. Look, I'm in the middle of nowhere with my cows. Yeah, you're welcome. I would never, if Rufus and Roxanne we'd never gone online or anything like that, we would never have sold any of these guys. Like, this bull belongs to Paisley. Roxanne belongs to Paisley. Now, I may not have bought Rhonda because I wouldn't have been looking for another cow for Rufus, most likely. Nah. Oh, that's Ruth. I probably would have, actually. I don't know. I don't know that I would have been looking for another one, but maybe. I don't really see anything that I wouldn't have done, even without these guys all being on YouTube. Who is it needs blocked? I can block them. I can't see any bad comments. Why I watch this like the rescue? Well, you know what? I spend a lot of time asking and trying to figure out why people love the channel so much. I don't know that you guys know how big this has gotten. Did you know, for instance, we on YouTube are the smallest amount of subscribers? I haven't been on here very long. We have the smallest amount of subscribers for the amount of views out of everybody. We average of almost 60 million views per 28 days. 60 million views per 28 days. That's over 3 million views per day. Can you guys believe that? If you look that up, we're in the top 8,000 creators in the world. In the world of YouTube. We're in the top 8,000 out of, I want to say, 50 million. Isn't that crazy? Like, there's no, like, I feel like I'm on an island because I don't know what's good and what's bad. But last night and this morning, I've been like digging through to try to figure out where we were. And I'm like, these numbers are just crazy to me. And we're at, right now, we're at 700,000 hours per 28 days of watch time. Yeah. So we're in the top. I'm not bragging. I just don't even have anybody to talk to about this thing. But like, we're in the top 0.5% or whatever it is, half of whatever that is. When do you sleep? From about midnight to 6 a.m. now. I was getting up at 5. I got up at 5 for years, and for some reason I've switched to 6. I think the staying daylight so long has switched me. Well, I'm just going by numbers, you know? I mean, like just the sheer numbers and the stats. And like, there is no way to see a lot of other creators' numbers. Um, what do you think about permanent daylight savings time? I don't really give a shit. I don't really care what time it is. Be honest with you, it doesn't. Everybody spends too much time worrying about shit that doesn't matter. Yeah, I did look on Social Blade. You can see a lot of different stats on there. Right now, we're at almost 500 million views for the year. I know. It makes you like, hang on, somebody was calling me. But like, I know Ruth's like, he's got to make sure there's no boys around them girls because he thinks that they're in season right now. Rowdy Rose still up here. Well, it's like there's not really a lot of ways to see like where you stand. Oh yeah, man, they really jumped my ass. They're really bashing on Amanda on the emus. Like she had her feelings hurt yesterday. She's just not tough rind. She doesn't have a tough rind on her. You guys help her on her page, please. I can even. All I read is good comments. I do not respond to negative comments, and I can say is just be careful if you do send me something that's meant to be funny and something's not out of whack in it because I just block people that make my blood pressure increase. So if you try to be funny, which I love, just make sure it comes off as that. I just like you have to, or you'll spend and you'll dwell on it. You'll let it eat at you. You could have a million good comments and 2 bad comments will piss you off, and you'll spend hours thinking about it. And literally, the platforms try to help you. So if you don't spend any time on the negative comments, you know, there's so many comments on some of these videos. Obviously, I can't go through them all. Can't go through them all. So if you read just the bad ones, it'll actually put those in front of you when you open the comment section. So I keep telling Amanda, I'm like, I don't know why you do this. Why do you read these? Why do you respond to these? She's got like a 2-paragraph response. And I'm like, don't do it. There goes Rowdy. He's like, hey, where'd everybody go? It quit bothering him, and he's been fine. I'm not sure it was actually his ankle, his hoof, or his hip. You can see him down there right now. He's following Rhonda everywhere she goes. She's right in front of him, so I know she didn't breed. So, anyways, he'll be following her around for the next 3 or 4 days, and he's way more aggressive right now. And his feet is what we got to worry about. Like, what it was, him riding her in those rock piles. You know, wherever she'll go stand in a rock pile if she don't want him to mess with her. What's funny is the cows are just as bad as the bulls. The cows will go, like, I watched her ride Rufus around. The cows will ride a bull. I know that sounds crazy to a lot of people when they think that it's a forced pregnancy by a bull. It's not. A cow will actually go find a bull. And It's not a forced pregnancy. They have the drive and they want to sustain. That's they're hardwired for that, to be pregnant, to have a baby by the strongest bull, and to move on. Absolutely, but the cows will tear down fences to go get with a bull, just like the bull will go tear down the fence to get with cows. Everybody thinks like, well, not okay. Listen, I'm sorry for using everybody. There's a handful of people think, and here I am preaching, and then Amanda's doing it, and then I'm bringing it up. But there's a handful of people that legitimately think that I'm forcing Rhonda to be bred again. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times, if you leave the calves on them, that's why I'm going to leave these calves on longer this time. Because if I leave Roro on Rhonda, usually when they nurse them down quite a bit, it says in AI you get 60,000 to 300,000. Yeah, right. Man, you got to know how that shit works. Let me just tell you, Mr. M, you don't know how it works. I trust me. I wish I did. Brett, you sound like a liberal. Okay, there's some politics. And you're blocked. You'll have to watch the fake pages. Hide use. There we go. I am a CEO of a cancer laboratory. I found this with Rufus. That's fine with me. I don't want them to have like Roxanne went 4 years or 3 years or some shit without having a calf. Perfect. Now, don't get me wrong. I love babies, but whoa, you guys are zoomed like a motherfucker. Don't get me wrong. I love the babies, but like, I don't want anybody to think I have like some kind of cow mill. What would you call that? A puppy mill? Cow mill? It's nice out here today. I got my dirt moved and worked right there to extend my fence on out. Now, if I was a rancher and I was selling cows, I would want Ruth to be pregnant. Right now, she's at 14 months old. And obviously, I would want Roxanne to be bred back and Rhonda to be bred back as soon as possible. What's a good number for a herd? Depends on how much land you got them on, how many you want to take care of. He's down there sniffing Roxanne or Rhonda's butt right now. If you notice, if you guys were on here, was it yesterday we were out here? He goes to the same spot to feed on his way down to the shade trees. And the girls just went down to the pond to drink. They have a pretty good routine. Howdy, love you guys. Tell Amanda to ignore the assholes. She is so sweet. You guys are all kinds of folks. Haters gonna hate because they are miserable. I know. I think some of it, thank you so much. Is that Debbie? I go back to when I first started doing this too, and I know I let people bother me, so I have to remember, like, I get aggravated because I'm like, stop, just stop, don't, just block them. I used to call it the dickhead of the day, and I'd screenshot the one I blocked. And the dickhead of the day goes to this son of a bitch. Nope, no smoke down here. It's clear. I guess. I haven't seen anything. It looks pretty clear today to me. See, now look, Rhonda laid down. Rufus going to want her to get up. He's going to be like, I ain't never tried this laying down before, but it could be possible. Might save my hip. I know it. Oh, they were just giving her a hard time. There was somebody that was like, I was dying laughing because they were like, those things are aggressive and this and that. And I was dying laughing because I thought Amanda was joking. And they were like, don't move, Brent. And of course, I hear that frequently. So no insult there. Um, and Amanda looks at me and I could tell like she was bummed. And I'm like, you are not bummed over that lady saying that or whoever the hell it was. Hey, Brent, love your clips. Enjoy your clips. Thank you. Is that Frank? I know. We got to toughen her up. We got to toughen her up. I'll tell you what she likes. If you guys think about it, go to, and I'm not just sitting here to do this, but if you're on our email list, send her an email and say, suck it up, buttercup. Shoot her an email. She reads every email, by the way. If she doesn't respond, it's because you're an asshole and she doesn't want to respond to you. Typically, and that's me too. I don't read any emails really, unless it just comes across my screen. So the only thing that comes across my screen throughout the day is the super chats, and I don't really know how I've got that set up to come across my screen. And the emails come across the top of my screen. And if I see one that looks like something I should read, like there was a nice lady yesterday, I just happened to see it come across my screen and it said, Brent, I am talking to you on another platform. It says it's you. Is this you? And I was like, no, it's not me. I tell everybody, you know what we need? Hey, I was thinking about this. We need a code word. Okay, I know they're listening right now. If somebody messages you, the code word is go F yourself. And if they don't know that, actually, that's not a bad idea. We need a code word that's just funny. Listen, I'm not going to message it. And if I do message it, it's going to be from my account. You know what I mean? Because if you hit them with that, they're not going to want to know what to say. Or be like, I'm right behind you right now. Look over your right shoulder. You know what I mean? Some shit like that. I can just picture some dude in like an office deal with headphones on, looking over his right shoulder. What up? Hey, there's been a few people that are talked to fake pages that have messaged me and been like, hey, did you get that money? And I'm like, wish I did, but no, I didn't. Can you resend it to this page? I'm kidding. But I tell them no, and I never would ask you for money, first off. And who did you send it? What are you doing? And they're like, yeah, I was talking to you. I've been talking to you for months. Everyone wants to block me because I said AI. I've been watching you since 10. I didn't want to block you. Oh, we don't do politics on here. That's the only thing. It will get you blocked, One Nation, but we appreciate you. But we just don't do politics, man. We won't. You can go anywhere. You can go open anything you want to do right now and go watch politics on any channel, anything you want to watch. We just fuck all that stuff, man. Just pisses everybody off. Gets everybody in a bad mood. We just don't do it. But you're welcome. Appreciate you jumping on here. We can bullshit about anything else you want to bullshit about. Oh yeah, Ross is our ambassador. Yeah, fuck all that, man. We got all that. Everybody's got that ground into their brains. Look at this. I mean, look at this. Everybody, the news and all that stuff just wants to just ruin your day. And look at all this out here. Look at all this. Ain't nobody out here bitching at me about nothing. You know what I mean? Like, this is all out there. They get people thinking like it's raining outside, like it's dark clouds. You know what I mean? I'm not talking politics. I'm just talking about news in general. Like, it's not all dark clouds. There's blue sky out there today, boys. Biscuits and Gravy are doing great. They've actually set up camp up there in my front yard. yeah, man, these boards here are supposed to be going on this little dab of fence here and then move the rest out of there. You know, it's not too hot yet, but I can tell it's going to get steamy today. Front poached deer. Yeah, those are going to be some good ones. Oh my God. The problem with that is that I was thinking about this the other night. I was like, I enjoy deer hunting. And um, my kids have all hunted. We're a family of hunters. I know that's going to make somebody mad, but we are. And we love it. And we're very respectful hunters. I've got to where when my kids were younger, you know, whatever the bag limit was is what they felt like they needed. And we processed their deer and all that stuff. But now I can already know, like this barn built in my prime hunting spot. So every deer for the rest of my life now with Amanda is going to be biscuits and gravy. Every deer. How do you know that wasn't one of them? Well, it has to be done. People don't understand it. It has to be. The deer get overpopulated. You see them. I had a couple places that were overpopulated with deer, and you know, people just didn't harvest any deer, and they all died. They all got that blue tongue, and they all died, and they were curled up underneath trees everywhere. And it was sickening to know that, you know, had they been hunted a little bit more in that area, it would have thinned them down some to where they weren't all overpopulated. Basically, they're back a little bit now. Um, but they were just too thick. There was just too many, and they were actually starting to starve a little bit. On a bad year of acorn crop, they were starting to get thin. Yeah, we're allowed 6 deer in Arkansas this year. Um, I don't know. He's gonna lay down beside her. I don't know. I took 1 buck last year off this place right behind this barn, actually, and Paisley got a really nice buck down there in that bottom field, and we had a great time together. And then Amanda has quit deer hunting. She never really was a deer hunter. I made her go hunting with me. I think people can just love God. What do you mean? Yeah, I don't think it has anything. I don't think the deer has anything to do with our population. These deer, what it is people have stopped hunting deer for meat and they've started just trophy hunting. That's what I was kind of getting at. So they're just hunting mature bucks with big racks. Um, Nothing wrong with that at all. But the reason that there's 6 tags given is because the population of deer in Arkansas is through the roof. Actually, the number one, I think, killer of people in Arkansas is deer from car accidents. So we don't believe in trophy hunting. Well, I'll tell you what, my kids are that same way. I quit hunting anything besides the older big bucks because my children, um, Hagen included, all loved hunting. Now they're all older and doing their own thing in different places. So that's right, you kill it, you eat it. Fishing, everybody's moved on to different things, and now this place is overrun with deer this year. Like it is covered in deer. I've never seen so many deer, but I've never spent as much time as I'm spending here now, with the barn, the house, and everything coming together, and taking off this time off work. I've never spent this time of year on the farm. My job was demanding from June through August. I didn't even have time off. So that's why if you go back through a lot of my content, you won't find a whole lot of summertime content from June through August because I was traveling the whole time. So I don't know if I'm just seeing tons of deer or if I'm just seeing something I've never noticed before. I was raised, if you guilty, yeah, me too, man. I've had to eat lots of weird stuff when I was a kid. If we don't get a deer during hunting season, we go to the processor because always. Yeah, that's the way a lot of people should do it. I usually take a whole deer. Um, I have not shot a doe in probably 10 years. And you know what? I'm part of that problem because there's so many doe on this place that it's getting so crazy, full of fawns. And I hate to think of that wasting disease or blue tongue wiping all these things out. But Hagen, if it's brown, it's down. It's his motto. If it's getting in the afternoon, man, he sees a deer. It's over here because of that. How high can they jump in the air? I'm not real sure, but high, depending on what breed. Oh yeah, 569. Oh, it must have just rolled over. We're about to 570. We average about 1,200 subscribers a day. Um, Deer like manicured pastures. They do like manicured grass. They like that short grass. That's why so many people plant food plots and different things. They do like, that's why you'll see deer on the wood lines coming out at night into the fields because they like that. Like they really do. My job, I'm a mid-rise and high-rise building inspector for a company before they bought or after they purchased properties, housing properties, mainly student housing. So I was around every university from Miami to New York. Got to put your phone in the cooler. Well, we're about to jump off here anyways. I'm trying to do 1 hour lives. It's telling me my lives are getting too boring. But I'm like, well, hell, there's everybody still watching. They're just working. I want a Redford phone ring app. Yeah, the big boss is coming back this afternoon to do a live. So, and it's on her agenda and her planner and all of her stuff to come do a live today. She's like, I don't know how you work doing this just off the hip. And I'm like, well, I don't either, but seem to be okay with it. Yeah, I did get y'all be proud of me. I did get all the wire off these posts and got them all loosened up. So I got all the fence out, ready to do that. I just need to pull this post up, drive a post back in there, tighten up these wires, and then that'll be done. And then I've been working, for anybody that's on here that didn't know, I don't know if y'all can see the little shiny wires up there in those poles, but we got electricity. The electrician's supposed to be here today, and I was going to rent a excavator and trench in for my main, but I got a guy coming out. He's going to do it for me. Well, I haven't priced it yet with him, so we'll see. But then guess what we can do? I don't even know what we can have an air conditioner, a little windy unit or something, or a big one. But here to the pavement is almost 2 miles. And this actually is a good strip of it here. Like, it's not that nice everywhere. It's rough enough. Cobb. Or Redford up there. Should we walk up there and jack with him for a second? My phone's probably getting too hot. Whoops. Keep Rufus safe because I don't know what somebody would do to him. Why would anybody want to hurt Rufus? People are weird though. Whoops, sorry. Maybe we can find us a shade tree up here. Yeah, this road is rougher than a bastard. What's everybody commenting one for? Did I say something? I think it's pretty interesting, huh? Like the whole thing. Like I unknowingly, before this, did not realize that it was going to produce good content that people actually want to watch. But apparently, check it out, there she is up there. Everybody's gonna make fun of my grass, but listen, I'm letting that grass get established before I trim it on that bank. Y'all remember how steep that was? Great. Huffing and puffing. Oh, there's Redford in his new electric pole. Oh yeah, he loves it. Well, that thing smells like it's got a bunch of creosote in it. Redford, they put you a pole in there, huh? Yeah, I hadn't trimmed any of that grass yet because I'm letting it really get a hold because it is steep up there. Redford's too hot to be out here in the sun like this. He's got all that dirt moved around there. Yeah, I think so too. I think it is Rowdy's dad. I'm gonna move over here to the shade, Redford. You can stay over there, we'll watch you. There's Rosie, and I'm not so sure she's pregnant. I need to, don't worry, he'll come down here. I'm not so sure she's pregnant because Redford's been acting awfully cranky too, but it may be them other girls over there causing him to. I remember as a kid, I would say about 13 years old, I got caught killing a squirrel. My dad, I'm gonna skin it. Yeah, oh yeah. You know how many squirrels I've been. Depending on which squirrel, man, we wouldn't. Them old red squirrels, we left them suckers alone. Them things as tough as a damn boot leather. You pick them young grays. Those are the best eating. They taste like chewing on a piece of red oak bark, you know. But everybody's like, well, you got to boil them about 4 times, then you put them in this buttermilk, then you put them in this brine. And I'm like, holy shit. If I did all that, I could eat a piece of damn boot leather or a piece of tree bark. Be good. No, I'm not petting him. He tried to kill me yesterday for trying to get a horse off his back. Yeah, everybody's in a weird mood right now because I think the girl's over there. The smells like crisscrossing. But check out those pastures being brush hogged. Now there's a few little spots of weeds, but check that out. Not bad. And we got rain. I was worried. Sometimes the weeds shade the ground a little bit. And in July and August, the end of July, August, it keeps the grass from burning up completely. So sometimes you can screw yourself up hogging, especially too short. Stacy. Are we getting shirts? I talked to the big boss about that last night. I was trying to figure out, oh, we got a cool one coming out that's a casino. It's Rufus and all the boys playing poker. I'm probably not supposed to be talking about that, but it's Rufus and all the boys playing poker, and then it's got all the girls like in a spa deal down at the like a water hole, kind of like the pond. It looked pretty. It looked pretty good. She's getting pretty good at this. Yeah, there's so much shit on that thing now. You got all kinds of options. I don't even know what kind of shirts we have. Yes, everybody. Yeah, my boys, we were trappers for a while. We had to help this farmer. The beavers were just wrecking this part of his land, and they were. I don't know that a lot of people understand that when beavers chew a tree off, they typically chew little ones off, only about that big. But when they chew them off, they chew them from both directions, up and down, and then it comes to a real sharp point. And cows or horses go off the riverbanks, and those stobs stick up. However tall the beaver is how tall the stob sticks up. So it could be as tall as his leg if that's how tall the beaver is. Well, it's sharp, and it will gut a cow or a horse. So there was one spot they just absolutely ran out of anything to eat. Anyways, the end of the story is they caught a beaver, and we ate it. And actually, if you look it up, beavers are like a real delicacy in every part of their meat is different or something. I don't know, but Amanda was throwing up and run out of the house. We didn't like a crock pot. That's how I was raised too. If you kill it, you eat it. And Amanda was like, I can't. And you know, it actually was really good. It was like a real fatty beef. Well, I've eaten a lot of beaver, but that was the first actual real beaver with buck teeth. You know what I mean? See, that's the kind of stuff we're not supposed to talk about. There's a lot of jokes there, but be careful. They caught a beaver that weighed 90 something pounds, and be careful because we thought they had some kind of record beaver. This thing was gigantic. But be real careful if you look up the biggest beaver in Arkansas, because you're going to see a lot of shit that you are unrelated to the actual real beaver. And guess what? 90 pounds is not a big beaver. The record is like 120 something pounds or some shit. Right. There's so many beaver jokes going around my house. Look them up, like the old timers and trapper stuff, you know. I'm sorry. Yes, I know. We trailed off there. But I was like, are these things safe to eat? They're herbivores completely. Listen, this is a real page. We can talk about whatever we want to talk about. Talk about eating beavers right now who are joining us. Real big old 90-pound beaver. Type in biggest beaver in Arkansas. Just type in those words. You want to see something. Uh-huh. Imagine me and my boys' response to that. Me wanting to zoom in, Amanda trying to kill me, just slap the phone out of my hands. Dude, a 90-pound beaver, like average for a beaver, like an adult beaver, average is like 65 to 75 pounds. Average. Ross is going to check on beaver size. No, not shooting them. We were trapping them. Okay, I gotta go. Nancy, where you going? We used to trap a lot, and we would remove, like, if it was coyotes or something that were really causing problems, or if it was in an area where whatever it was causing a problem. Anyways, we would turn loose like what we didn't want to catch. And traps nowadays, especially foothold traps, are not like they used to be. They don't injure the animal at all. Like there's a lot of these trap pages that they actually put these traps on their hands and go to bed with them on their hands. And people always, I'm going down a road here that people don't like, but people always dispute that. But as a trapper in the past, I can promise you that I've caught lots of dogs, lots of people's dogs, and I've never had one even limp, even after being in a trap all night. Um, I've never had one injured, and I would have never thought that either. But the traps nowadays are just different. They just hang on to you. And believe it or not, coyotes and stuff like that, they don't really pull when their foot gets in there. They don't pull or yank. They'll just they'll tug, lift up, and they just go in circles. So you gotta have a lot of swivels. You have lots of swivels. What they do is they go around in a circle and around in a circle until they twist off the chain. The actual chain will twist off. Yeah, I know. And anytime you trap, if you're trying to catch coyotes, you'll have, you know, some kind of smell there. Believe it or not, coyotes eat. Um, the number one smell to attract a coyote. Do you know what it is? Anybody want to guess what it is? If you know, don't say it. The number one beaver diver, Ross. Oh yeah, I forgot. Number one attractant that we found and that really attracts coyotes. It was strange to me, but it also made sense. Fox urine. They eat fox. Around here, coyotes eat fox. They hunt fox. And fox urine around your trap, and I guarantee you, is what we found was the number one lure. You buy a little bitty bottle of fox urine, put it around your trap, and they will be around there sniffing that sucker. I know, isn't that weird? A fox is way more feline than a dog. A fox is more cat-like to me. But where I was going with that was me and Hagen. Man, everybody's buying shirts. Did she send out an email or something? I've seen tons of shirt orders coming through right now. It is interesting. Fox urine. And if you want to keep coyotes away, you get online and you buy the wolf urine, and it will keep coyotes away from your property. My brother-in-law is a tree-hugging hippie. Love the guy to death. He's from Puerto Rico. Well, I call him a half-a-Rican because he's only half Puerto Rican. And my nephew's a quarter Rican. Good friends of mine, good family. Anyways, give him a hard time because he's younger. So he was trying to figure out where to transplant dandelions one time because he was digging them out of his yard. And I told Amanda, I said, hey, I can't deal with shit like that. I can't. Like, you can't ask me where to transplant some fucking dandelions, man. I'm going to lose it. I don't even know that I can be friends with or family with somebody that's trying to transplant dandelions. And anyways, I was dying laughing, and Amanda was dying laughing. And anyways, he got online, and he had a coyote trying to eat his chickens. And he found wolf urine. Don't even ask me where the hell he found this at. And put it around, and it kept him away. Transport to a dumpster. I know. Anyways, wolf urine did it. He's actually really sharp dude. Like we're really good friends. We have a great time, and he's always coming up with stuff that I don't think about, which is cool. He's on a whole different wavelength than me, but he raises bees, honeybees, and and he's really good at it. And it's actually, I don't know if anybody on here knows about bees or not, but it's a bitch. It ain't easy. Like, it's not easy. Like, to keep bees, keep them all alive and make it the winter and keep them healthy, keep those damn beetles out of them and all that shit. It's hard. But anyways, he came up with this, what was it? Lavender, pure lavender, and was able to catch like multiple other hives of honeybees. And now he has like dozens because he found this lavender scent that attracts them to his something crazy. Is that not crazy though? Beekeeping is an art, and he's good at it. For short peckered people or something like that, I'm sure, but that's what I tell them. I tried it, mine died. I brought bees that I saved out of an attic, got them going really well in my yard, and another batch of bees. Did y'all know there's hundreds of different kinds of honeybees, by the way? I don't know how we got on this, but there's hundreds of different kinds of honeybees and different aggressiveness. And I brought these bees to my house and thought they were cool, and they were doing great. And this other batch of bees came in that were local and fucking stomped them out, killed the queen, and took all their honey in about 20 hours. Look, he's even listening. He's like, "You say stomp out something?" They stomped my bees out, took all their honey, killed the queen, and moved on like nothing. To quote from Tom McDonald, "I like slice of heaven somewhere. Cut on the ranch. We think of you guys every time we hear this line." That's great, Fuzzerson. I just can't wait to be living out here. Like, it's so close now I can feel it. Bees are ruthless. They are, certain ones. You know, you can buy some that are like the Brock Lesnar of the bee hives, and then you can kick all your neighbor's bees' ass. So, not that I thought about it, but I was trying to find some souped up bees to bring to my house to beat up the bees that killed my original bees so that I could keep bees. But the bees that came and beat up my bees were like giant. They were like as big as the end of my pinky. Like, I shut my door down so tight that nothing could get in and out of my hive. And them things, I swear they slid the lid over sideways and got in there and kicked their ass. I know, we got a lot of sad stories today about bees and chickens. They did slide the lid over. My son threw a football, knocked the lid sideways some, then they got in there and beat the shit out of them. It's weird to think of how many different kind of honeybees there are out there that y'all didn't know about that till right now. You're welcome. No, they're honeybees, just some are more aggressive. They're all different sizes too. I used to do bee removal. Beavers, bees, chickens, fox. We've covered a lot of different things today. I don't know that any of it was actually productive. I don't have electricity yet. I got the pole and the meter base, but I do not have power ran over to my house yet. You don't know that from this channel. Well, there is fractions and pieces of knowledge in there somewhere with the humor. Ross, it's so hot out here. That barn stays cool most of the day. The collapse. I'm telling you. Comment, mama. I'm telling you, it's just life. I have a tendency, if you start really paying attention, you'll see that there's not much I haven't tried, from bees to trapping, and I'll spend the time to master the trade. Now, I did do bees again, and I did them a couple more times, and I never really mastered it, but I learned enough about it to be dangerous about it, and then I gave that last hive or swarm to my brother-in-law. So, and then trapping, me and my boys we like to get in the weeds, is what we used to call it back in the corporate world. But we used to like to figure out where beavers live, where otters live, where mink live, raccoons live, and how much goes on at night. And we spent years mastering the trapping world. And let me just tell you, if you want a hard job that pays nothing, there's a shitload of work. Just become a trapper. They're on like an 18% feed right now. Yep. Then we went to bulls. So shark fishing, all kinds of saltwater fishing, bear hunting, elk hunting, mule deer hunting. I literally threw a dart at Colorado, drew a tag for that. Never been in the mountains before. Spent 2 weeks up there, multiple times now. Got familiar with that. I don't really know. A little bit of everything. What life's about. Chris, I don't really know. I was on Facebook. Something, a fox got my chickens. And I got on Facebook and I saw some emus. And also some Australians have also told me I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, but I'm from fucking Arkansas. Even if I pronounced it right, you wouldn't understand. But I do appreciate y'all trying to help me out. Amanda was trying to say it last night. She got me to laughing. Emons or something like that. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to try it. But anyways, I had a fox to get my chickens, and I thought it'd be cool to have something out there to just stomp that fox out when he came back. Nikki's going in the water. Don't tell him, Nikki. Enjoy. Did you look up the tide chart? See what the tide comes in? Brent, we buy. What? What was I selling again? Question. Can bucks snort loudly enough to sound similar to a bull? No. I mean, it's loud, but nothing compared to a bull. Maybe a quarter of a bull. There's so much air moving. When he's blowing, you could see shit, weeds moving way the hell over here. It's so much air. I see, yep, nope. Hope everyone's having a great day. It's not too bad, Manny. Buck snort, they do snort. And blow, grunt. Full of hot air. They are. Buck snort, Tennessee. We got a bug scuffle, not too far from me. Bug scuffle. What's the deal with the birds? Nothing. Found them on a page. They were the runts, and talked to the guy, and he was like, well, they're probably going to go to this broker deal for meat if they make it. And I was like, well, hell, you're in Arkansas. If you'll bring them to me right now, I'll meet you halfway, and I'll buy them from you. And he said, okay. And I went, oh shit. He goes, I'm gonna leave in about 15 minutes. And I was like, oh God. And then I literally texted Amanda and I said, get ready. And she is so mad. She panics when she thinks something's when like something's small and she has to take care of it. Like Darla, our puppy, that's now grown. Like she was against it the whole time because she gets stressed about keeping it alive. And of course, me being me, I'm like, hell, you'll be fine. I'll see you in 6 months when they're big enough for me to play with. But I just realized they're going to, they're going to Universal Studios for Paisley's vacation deal or something shit this summer. They found a Allegiant flight for like $50. They're gonna go down there. Which what I'm getting at is I'm gonna have to take care of the emus for that week or however many days that is. Great. I have 4 dogs and I have a bird dog. Needless to say, he's prepared and he knows there are birds in our garage, which I bought about $150 stock tank yesterday to put them in, but I bought one that will fit in my corral. So it'll be used for that when it's done. What is the most terrifying animal you came across outside of farm animals? Let's see. I had a great big, and everybody, I've got a video of it, but I had a great big brown bear, which they say there's not any in Colorado. They say it was a cinnamon black bear, but it was gigantic, and it came over a ridge when I was hunting out there, and I was hunting mule deer, and it came over this ridge, and it was like way away from me, and it was running down the side of this mountain towards me. And you know, if you've never been out there, it's hard to explain, but you can see things coming for miles, and everything's pine out there, like a lot of pine thickets and dark, shade areas and dark timber. And anyways, I was in this thicket that had a forest fire come through years in the past, and there was tons of down pine trees. And I could see this bear come over top of the mountain, and I know a hunter had bumped him up out of wherever he was at. Well, he didn't see me, or she didn't see me. I don't know what it was for sure, but it was running right at me, and it was coming. And now I have a rifle, but this thing was massive. And at first I'm just videoing this thing with my phone, and I'm like, well, I'm really in a line to intercept here. But the sound this thing was making when it was running through there was all that pine. I'm used to Arkansas. If you run into the brush up here, the limbs all bend. Everything bends. In that, all that down pine trees and treetops, all that pine, whenever it bends, it snaps and it breaks. It sounds like pine 2x4s just exploding. And this bear was no longer picking a trail. It was just running. These trees are down, so you can't really run. Like, I'd picked the trail that I was on. It wasn't really a trail, and I was just crawling over logs and timber that would all laid every which direction. And I was pretty much hung up. Like, I couldn't get out of there. And the game warden had already said, like, you can't shoot a bear. You better have some scratches on you if you shoot a bear. So I'm already paranoid about that. But then when the bear is getting closer to me, it's like looking up that mountain right there. I lose track of it. But I know it was, and you can see the rest of the mountain like way up here. I know it was coming right here. Look at that damn feed bag up there. God dang it, there's feed bags everywhere. Anyways, it ended up running right over top of me. And it came through those pine treetops, and they were just exploding. And I didn't know which direction it was going to go. Like, I didn't know if it was going to, you know what I mean? Like, I felt like either way I picked, and I couldn't decide which way it was going. Anyways, that was probably one of the most nerve-wracking few minutes of my life. And this thing, I've got a video of it. It's on this phone I'm on, or I would show you, but it ran right over top of me. It ran within 2 foot of me, and never saw me. It was trying to get away from another hunter and ran over top of me. I know what it was doing. It wasn't injured, but man, you could hear that thing coming. It just didn't know it was going to run over me. Like, I could tell, like, I was in the spot. It couldn't see me, couldn't hear me. It was making so much noise, no matter how much noise I made. And I was like, man, that was a good one. Horses have always been super dangerous. Breaking horses are always dangerous. I think horses are more dangerous than bulls, honestly. A good riding horse, good broke out horse, Not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about breaking horses and horses that are, the horses nobody wants to buy. That's what my dad would buy. The ones that nobody else wanted, and dad would buy them, and then we would break them out, and then he would sell them, and they'd try to kill us. Bull rider, no, I never did. I mean, I never rode anything substantial. Donkeys are the watchdog of the South. They definitely are. The problem is donkeys never die. That's not really a major problem, but they get older than shit and they can't even run anymore. They're just rolling fat. That we had this on the other day. Nobody on here has ever seen a donkey die. They live forever. I think the oldest donkey on record was 70. So if you buy a donkey when you're 30, that thing's still going to be alive when you're gone. Emus never die. Good. Okay. Does anybody on here have emus? Do we have any emu people on here? Because I got a question. It's a real grainy video. I'll put it on. Oldest donkey 54. That's close, man. That's close. That's the same thing as 70. 54 and 70, same. What was his name? We have answers. Well, no, I'm just saying, would you rather him attack you or an emu attack you? Just curious. Oh, yeah, Amanda loves it. Emu will gut you. Let me tell you something. If he attacks you, gutting will be the last thing you have to worry about. They don't stop. Okay, so an emu will gut you. We need a Kevlar vest that tucked in, and we're good, right? What are you gonna wear if he attacks you? Oh yeah, I've watched it. I used to have emus. I know, and this guy, bomb suit. I don't. Yeah, like maybe one of those diver suits where you have like the whole thing is like steel. He's gonna rip your head off though. You need that thing to be connected good then. Listen, people, every kind of animal can attack. You just never know what you're going to get. Shark suit for an emu or a bull? Shark suit would just keep you all in one piece if the bull attacked you. I mean, I just can't imagine, like, I'm not really afraid of much, though. But I figure if a emu tries to attack me, I'll just snatch him right by the pecker, his beak, the pecker. And I'm going to use that joke a lot. And I just grab him right there and say, hey, come here and look at me right in the eyeball. You know what I mean? I wanted to name them different names, but whatever. What do we got? Peaches and cream? No, it's cookies and cream. Trash can lid like there. Yeah. I mean, they're all territorial. They all got their issues. I feel like though I have a good environment for them. Like, look at this field with these fences. And when I get my fence in around my house, it's gonna be a wooden rail fence, gonna go around that way. It's gonna go up that way, and then I'm gonna fence off this whole field up here. I can put them in my front yard. Let's go out there and have an emu in your front yard. I've gone too deep into this now. No matter what happens with these, you know, the first ones you get usually is like a learning curve, and hopefully not. Hopefully they make it, but I will have a adult live email that I raised at some point. You're terrified of koalas and kangaroos? I will. I would straight up fight a kangaroo. The matter of fact, the guy was talking about having some baby kangaroos next month, and I tried to talk Amanda into it. And she was like, "Shut the fuck up," because you got to carry them around in like a satchel. Would I win? I don't know. I wouldn't lose. The kangaroo would be fucked up too. I'd be fucked up, and then it wouldn't be good. That's about how any fights I ever got in typically turned out. Did I win any fights? I don't think I did. But neither did the other person. I never was like a solid loser. Like, you know what I mean? Would I own a parrot? No. Too many of those in apartments. Would I like to be around one or have one? Yeah. I just, I can't do it, man. They're cool. I'm just not an indoor person. I'm not inside enough. If it's inside pet, I can't even consider it my pet. A yak. I don't know how different ones of those things work around cows. You know, different breeds of cows. Llama. That's what Amanda's wanting, was a llama or an alpaca, I think. Polar bears are the best. Well, I don't know. Polar bears seem like it might bite you. I like to see a bit of camel would be fun. Believe it or not, I don't know why I assumed that kangaroos had to have warmer climates, but actually they do well in the cold. That's what the guy told me yesterday, that they do really well outdoors in the cold. Alpacas are great. Ruby is due. I give her about another 10 days at best. I did these things. I bought these things because basically the guy called my bluff and I wasn't going to back down. I'm not one of those people on Facebook. If I message you, I'm going to buy whatever it is. If I say I'm going to buy it, I'm not going to be like, all right, hang on, let me check with my wife. I said, if you can meet me today, and the guy was over 100 miles the other way with them, today I'll buy both of them. He goes, bet. I'm going to leave in just a minute. And I went, motherfucker. I was actually in the bathtub talking to this guy on the phone. No kidding. If anybody thinks that's made up, you're wrong. I know y'all didn't need all that information. I just wanted to set up the whole scenario with you guys so y'all could vouch for me. Because y'all know I do weird shit, but that's exactly how the whole story happened. I messaged, said that, thinking he'd be like, nah, they're already sold. They've been on there for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Like, why hadn't somebody already bought them? Well, they had. They bought all the good ones, and then all that was left over was these two kind of runny ones. So they ended the bathtub. I'm like, okay. So here I'm getting out of the bathtub, and Amanda's going, what? What? We got to what? And I'm going, get your shit on. We got to go. And then I ran off, left the dog kennel in the freaking garage, had to stop at Tractor Supply, spend as much on a dog kennel as I did on the emus. And Amanda had loaded up 19 things that we didn't need for emus that she took back. I said, grab a water tank and grab some other stuff. So she thought we were getting chickens, I think. Or maybe turkeys or something. I do a lot of video editing in the. I put me in a really big tub in my house when I built it. I like a really hot spa tub, and I do a lot of my editing in there. If y'all wanted to know that, you're welcome. Are Herefords aggressive? No, Herefords are not aggressive. Rufus has mixed with some dairy. Dairy bulls are goofy, and that's where Rufus gets the goofiness. It takes a particular amount of the dairy blood to make a goofy bull, and Rufus is eat up with it. He was the only one, I think, besides there was two other out of maybe 150 head. Oh, I got me a tub going in this house up here. Oh yeah, we saw the bull buffalo. Yeah. Yeah, it's person. He looks like, if you look at his face head on, you can see Holstein big time. That coloring is what throws everybody off. But if you really stare at his head, those scurs throw you off too. That's not a Holstein trait. So the scurs and the, I mean, he has 50%. Look at Ralph down there stuck in that treetop, isn't he? What is he doing? I know he's scratching, but all I can see is the tree shaking. Look, Rufus the Ripper's even looking like, what the hell is he doing? That's your boy. You gotta love him. Looks like Rosie's on the other side. I've been piling this brush up, these treetops, and these guys have absolutely, now they got a whole scratching post over there somewhere. But they have absolutely loved these treetops for scratching. So I've got a few more dead trees on Rufus's. I see those down there that died. I'm gonna cut down a couple of those this winter, and then give them some good scratching post. I hate that those die. There's some big old trees. And then I don't know if y'all can see it. I haven't talked about it much, but the weeping willow. Can y'all see it between us and Rhonda right there? It's right beside that tree. There's a weeping willow right there, and it was absolutely magnificent, and Rufus wrecked the whole thing. But guess what? It came back. Actually, y'all can see it better like this. Yeah, it was beautiful. It was probably one of the best weeping willow trees. That's the only tree on this place I planted. It's in a real low wet spot right there. It did survive, Watson. It did, but not by much. I brush hogged around it the other day, and I was like, should I brush hog around it? Those willows there on the pond bank need to be cut down. Those are some kind of brush shit. Get some guineas. I will when I'm out here. I can't have anything out here. The coyotes out here are crazy for birds and stuff. So when I'm out here and I get everything built and get a good chicken pen, hope you guys are in this for the long haul, because we're going to be, I figure it's going to take at least another 2 years to get everything the way I want it, at least. There's a lot of stuff to do in the winter, and then there's a lot of stuff to do in the summer. So a lot of the stuff will be this winter when the leaves come off the trees and I'm able to see everything. I'm gonna get my garden spot ready. Hopefully have the house finished by Christmas, somewhere in there. No, it's gonna take a while. This place has been so much work, but I've really enjoyed it. I was thinking about it yesterday, and I was like, I'll almost be sad when I have it all done, which I don't know if that's even possible, but the journey is the best part of this deal. I'll be honest with you. There's so much stuff I can do in the wintertime. There's no point in killing yourself out here when it's 110 degrees. Like this fence right here, I've been waiting for them to get the Highline poles in. So now I'm gonna run fence all the way through here so Redford doesn't have this stupid hot wire here anymore. And it'll connect to that fence there. But I needed to let them get these poles in first. And now this will have a nice, pretty fence coming around here. And that'll be the edge of my driveway coming in. And now that I got all my concrete trucks in, I'll be able to grade this road a lot better. Concrete trucks just wreck everything. I still need 2 loads to do that barn, but we're having a stock trailer built, so eventually we'll get the barn done and then get doors on it. I've got a video standing right here in this spot videoing, and all this was just dirt. All that was just dirt, and that was all woods, and there wasn't no barn there. I need to try to splice one together right here in this spot so we can see the progress. Redford, go in the shade, dude. Nobody's keeping you out here, man. Don't worry, I'm not gonna run in there and breed one of your cows. He's like, I ain't buying that. I ain't buying it. I've seen the way you scratch them. Oh God, now I talk to him, now he's gonna be pissed. That thing's gonna bite you. We're about to remove your biting fence, bud, so that you don't have to worry about that no more. You have a nice fence through here. Redford listens to everything. When your tone or your voice directed, I'm not talking to this phone anymore, and I start directing my face towards him. The sounds, everything, I can watch his whole body start changing like we just did there. And then the higher and the more aggressive my voice gets, and the louder I get talking, you can see him start flexing up, see his belly start breathing. Everything you do changes his behavior. Not really Rufus. He didn't really give a shit what you say or do or how you act. Like, he just stands his ground, man. He doesn't shift around. He doesn't do anything. Doesn't matter how loud you get or how quiet you are. He just surprises you. Yeah, action beats reaction. Just you got to remember that around bulls. So you got to be moving before he moves. So I think that's with everything in this world. Whose hand is that? You see a hand somewhere? Rufus doesn't show us emotion. He shows when he's happy. He shows when he's excited. And he does show when he's angry in his eyes. For damn sure. You have to watch Rufus's eyes to know what he's thinking. That squinty eye, man, that's the one. Look, makes my hair stand on end. Rufus is scary. I'm not afraid of Rufus, but let me tell you something. When he's really mad and he is committed to get you, I have seen him in high speed before trying to get Redford, and he's never come at me like that, like when he was trying to get Redford down, but I know what he's capable of doing. And that's the scary part. If he wanted to do that, I don't know that I could get away from him. Honestly, that's the scary part. I mean, even behind a tree. That snot just cleared that fence and landed on my forehead. Good job, bud. Redford is the same way. He's acting all big and tough right now. Redford, whenever I leave here in a little bit, I'm gonna be here for a while, but when I leave, he'll be standing right over here. He can see when I drive out, and I'll look back this way, and he'll be standing there with his ears down, like, oh, you leaving? Oh, man. Like your dog in the window. My phone may be getting too hot. Yeah, I think it's getting too hot. Well, guys, I'm going to jump off here. It's getting too hot, I think. Ross, I don't want to get hurt right now. I can pet him, but you're going to see him really gets aggressively. Yesterday he did too. Hey, Bubbers. Hey, Bubber. I know. Nobody's going to mess with your stuff. They put this stupid telephone pole in there. Man, you are burning up. He's hotter than the hood of my pickup. Solid. He is flexed up tight. He's not playing. I'm standing way above him on this road. He's got a really cool stripe down his back, too. He's pretty. He's a pretty boy. You run the risk of petting him sometimes. Like, all you got to do, step on something here and trip or something and fall towards him, and he's just going to turn and react and hit you. Like I did backing up when I hit my leg on that, or a loud noise, or just anything. Or the fence. That's the biggest thing. I about got hurt because the fence bit him, and like it's about to right now. You're about to get shocked in the back of your head. You know, if you're getting close to him and he's trying to load up for you, like he's going to do right here, and then the fence bites him and he thinks that he's been caught off guard, then he'll run over you. So you got to remember, he's ready for battle, and you're just walking up there like a derpy derp, and the fence bites him, and then you're fucked. He's just going to turn and ram you. That's what he would do with another bull. See him lick his nose. I doubt it. Famous last words. Y'all are buying some shirts today. Did she put something out or something? Did y'all get an email? Some of them damn fake pages must have stole some of my content with a shirt on it. Look at him. I like when he stands all straight up like that. Did you get an email today, Nikki, about the shirts or something? I was wondering why. I've seen like 10 shirts come across my screen. Derp and derp. Look at him. See, they turn their head away from you, face the other way, but that eye is always, that ear is right here. Everything is ready right here. And this is where they want you lined up, right here. I'm telling you. And that eye, he tries to turn that head as far as he can to bait you in. He's always listening. See, now look, he turned away too far, but he's listening. But whenever he turns, if he turns his head further where you can't see that bulge of that eye, I'll shift my foot and I bet he'll jump. He may not do it again though. See if he'll look. See, he's very, very, very ready. It's kind of like sticking your chin out and trying to get somebody to swing, but you're actually got brass knuckles on. You're very, very welcome. No emails? Huh? Sometimes those stolen pages will post some of my... Yeah, did y'all see that? I moved my foot just a little bit. I know. Everybody's like, oh, he's sad because he's turning his head away from you. Oh, he's almost pouting. I'm like, no, motherfucker, like, I'm going to kill you. Watch, I'll do it again. He ain't broke it yet. He has to break that bulge. Now he's going to get where he can see me a little better. He's like, this somebody's trying something. So you can still see him. He's trying to see his girls and me. Now he's backed up far enough that bulged eye, no matter how far he turns his head back that way, he can see his girls and me. Now see which is. Watch that head. He will not let you get behind him. That's a no-no. That's baiting him in to make him mad doing that. That's an aggressive thing. Don't be derpy dirtball. When you start doing that, is just like another bull would do to, yep, it starts getting the upper hand. The thing with him and Rufus is Rufus never did do that. Redford has always been a satellite bull to Rufus. He's always been one that had to go around the edges because Rufus is bigger than him. But oh yeah, now we're back here where you can really see that we're standing above him. This road's pretty high above him. Just wondering how you're dealing with them, how to get rid of them. Who is it? What is it? Oh, the fake pages? Man, it's like insects. You just have to control them. Try to get as many of them removed as you can. Yeah, almost 2 foot longer, I think. About 20 inches taller. Ticks? No, we keep the ticks off. There's all kinds of weird shit ticks are carrying nowadays, so. You're late. My phone's only got 10% of battery left, so I'll have to jump off here in just a second. But we've been on here for 2 hours. The 1 hour was supposed to be what we went with. He is a pretty boy, thank you. What up, North Dakota? Okay, I really do have to go, guys, because it's about to die. It's getting darker. Y'all be good. Do something today. Tomorrow's Friday, thank God. Do something great.